Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, guys. My name's Josh Jones. I'm the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator at Powell High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're a 5A school in our state, playing Region 3 5A. I've put my contact information on here. Feel free after the presentation at any time, reach out to me, text me, follow me on Twitter. If you want the PowerPoint, I'll be glad to email it to you. I have no problem with that. And if you got questions, the follow-up questions in regards to the presentation or anything on the PowerPoint, just reach out to me anytime. I'll be glad to share it. What I'm going to talk about today is high percentage pass concepts. It's just a couple simple things that we do and how we do it. I'm not saying the way we do it is the only way, not saying how we do it is the best way or anything like that, but it's just kind of our way of doing things. It works well for us, so therefore, that's how we do it. And like I said, my contact information is on here. As of 2020, we're a Jordan-sponsored program, so it's just not me just liking Jumpman. But we were one of the 200 schools nationwide that got accepted into the Jordan Club, so that's why you'll see some of the Jumpman stuff on there. All right, I'll go ahead and get rolling. One first thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is the concept stick. It's a very, very high percentage pass play, in my personal opinion. It's used pretty much at every level. If you watch games on Sundays, Saturdays, whatever on TV, any of that good stuff, Monday Night Football, good chance are you're going to see stick. I put a little background here about it. I'm not going to sit and read through all that. You can screenshot it or you'll see it if you want me to send you the PowerPoint. Bill Walsh was as far back as I can go on stick in terms of who I could find and kind of where it started at. And obviously it's evolved throughout the years. And you'll pretty much see it in every college system, all the way from air raid to spread, the West Coast, and pretty much all of them at some point, some form or fashion. They all run stick. Why do I like the stick concept? There's many reasons. I'll just go through the list here. It's high percentage throws. The way I look at it, if you can't throw stick, you probably ain't going to throw much anything in the pass game. But it's high percentage throws. It's got answers versus one high and two high built in, one high and two high structures. We've got man answers, got zone answers. It's really easy to install. It's easy for the quarterback to read and process. You can run it out of whether you're a 10P, 11P, 12P, 21P, whatever, and even some more personnel groupings you can run it out of. We're primarily a 10P team at Powell High School, so how I'm going to have it drew up is out of 10. We do a minor in 11 a little bit, but we're pretty much a 10 team. But again, whether you're 10, 11, or 12, or some of the other stuff, you can 20 is a really good one for it as well. You can run it. Again, just a continuation of why we like it. Let's just get some athletes to speed. Our athletes speed and space. We're always blessed at Powell to have a few pretty good athletes on the perimeter. So it's just an easy throw that we should be able to make to get our speed in space. You got flexibility to build in the backside. I'll show you what we have it on here today, but you can do a variety of things on the backside. You got the flexibility to do a variety of things. It's got easy blitz beaters built in. I'll cover that a little bit here in a second in more detail. Scat protection, scat to me is, 5-man pro. Get the back out into the route, which defenses usually don't like to defend. 5 guys, they only want to defend 4, but they definitely don't want to defend 5. Easy to add variations to it as well. You can switch up the distributions. You can run the old infamous stick nod, etc. But you can definitely switch up the distributions. Really easy is another reason you can give the defense different looks. The diagram, I'm going to have to go out, so give me just a second while I go out of this to show you the diagram, just so you get a visual of what it looks like. Here's our 10P version of stick, and I'll go through everybody's assignment and what they are doing in full detail when I go back into the PowerPoint. But if you just want to see what it looks like, this is out of 3x1. Like I said, you can run it different ways. Number 1 to the field. This is field 1, field 2, field 3 receiver. We teach conceptually at Powell. So therefore, the quarterback don't get enamored with, the X has this, the Z has this, et cetera, et cetera. We teach it from field 1, field 2, field 3, backside 1, backside 2. Okay, that's kind of how we do it. All right, let me go back into the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Talk about the quarterback first. Progression, you can make it really easy if you want to set rules. 2 high. You can tell him, work the flat to the stick. 1 high, work backside, work arrow or slant off the flat defender. What kind of drop? It's a 2-step mechanic drop, and I've got some video to show you what I mean by that 2-step mechanic. We're going to key Mike to pretty much determine what side we're going to be working. In a 2-high structure, we're going to key him to determine what side we're going to be working. We're going to look at him pre-snap and get a idea of where he's located. If he's in the box, or is he hipped? Is he plussed? Or whatever. That's going to tell us a lot of where we're going to work. We're going to key Mike and read the flat defender. Is what we tell our quarterback. Rules. You determine 1-high. If you want to create rules for the concept, feel free. 1-high work. If you want to make it really easy for your guy, 1-high work this side, 2-high work that side. If you want to make it that way. All right. Some coaching points. Like I said, we're going 2-high. We're going to find Mike. If the Mike backer is plus in the number 3, you can work backside. If the Mike is in a 10 or a 30 alignment, which means he's either in the A gap or the B gap, we're going to work stick all night long. If he starts to really plus or gets hipped, gets in a 50 alignment or even a 60 alignment, 60 means he's all the way outside the box. He'd kind of be wherever the ghost tight end would be. You can work backside then if he's so wide. All right, you're going to read that. That should say read it inside out. I'm sorry, that should say read it outside in. Okay, so we're going to read flat to stick. That should say read outside in. We're going to go flat to stick. Pre-snap, we're also going to scan for pressures. You got the simple blitz beaters built in. I talked about that a second ago. If the Mike's firing, you can throw stick. Nickel Sam's firing from the field, throw your out route, or your flat route to the field, now. You find that in your pre-snap scan. All right. These are just some universal coaching points. This works for stick. Obviously, these will work for a lot of different concepts that we do at Powell when we teach our quarterbacks. When we're installing a new concept, I always tell my quarterback what we really like the concept against and what we dislike, what maybe can give the concept trouble, what kind of defensive structure, what kind of look will give it trouble. That way, just kind of educate your quarterback. That way, when he sees that kind of stuff, he's got an idea of what's going on. You can create rules if you want to. I talked about that a second ago. 1-high work this side, 2-high work that side. That's more called coverage progression. That's really easy for the quarterback. I mean, they can all tell if it's 1 on the roof or 2 on the roof, and you can make it where it's 1-high work this, 2-high work that. That makes it really easy if your guy ain't a real advanced guy and you got to keep it simple for him. That might be a good way to go. When throwing flat routes, they're not the easiest throw in the world, so you do got to work those during routes on air and stuff when you get your time. But when throwing flat routes, we must be accurate to get yak. We want to get the speed in space. We don't want to kill his momentum. But bad throws are going to hurt the wide receiver's momentum, which is going to hurt our yak. He's going to make it simple for your guy. Well, I tell my quarterbacks all the time, give him a runner's ball. A runner's ball means you hit him in stride. You hit him in stride where he can keep going. You don't have to stop or bend down or your back hip or whatever. You just don't have to kill his momentum. But we tell our guys all the time. You'll hear me say that all the time on the practice field. Our guys, runner's ball. To get max mileage out of the concepts, use different formations. Talked about that a little bit ago with your groupings. Use different formations. You can use motions, return motion, end motion, whatever. Just to change up the picture to the defense. I think that's huge. If it's going to be a concept that you run a lot, run out a variety of formations, and then also move people around. Because when you start moving guys, the defense has to start communicating. Then you got 15, 16, 17-year-olds have to start communicating. Some of them don't do a very good job of it. So therefore, you got them. But we like to do that to the concepts. We like to run a lot. All right. Talking about the routes now, specific. Route number 1. Field number 1 receiver. He's the outside guy. We remember our receivers 1, 2, 3 from the outside in, and it stops at the ball. So the call side. So if it was let's say it was trips right was the formation. Field number 1 is going to be the outside guy. Number 2 is the middle guy. Number 3 is the inside guy. He's got what we call a more route, must outside release, vertical. Okay. And the must outside release is very, very key. Okay. In landmark, we want to get below the numbers. Coaching points, first step needs to be outside. We need to create width. We want to run through the outside shoulder. If you get a cloud corner, we want to run through the outside shoulder of a cloud corner. He is not part of the original progression, but you can make him an alert based on game plan, meaning you got a favorable matchup. You're playing a 1-high team, doesn't play man. We give our quarterback a little leeway in man. He gets a choice depending on the concept. If they're in man, he can kind of pick his best matchup / best runaway route. What route is running away? 5-yard hitch, that's not a runaway route. A dig or a go or things like that, those are runaway routes. So if you want to give your quarterback a little more freedom, he's advanced, he can handle it. You can do that. But if it's a 1-high structure, safety's in the middle. He's pressed up on your dude out there, and your dude's number 1 to the field, and let that sucker fly. Bus ticket, if you want to make it a real simple term, bus ticket. And we tell I got this from a Sean Payton clinic one time. He was going over a concept, and he said on this particular route he wanted his outside receiver to must outside release, and he said we tell our guys bus ticket, if he does not outside release, we're going to buy him a bus ticket and send him home. So I thought that was pretty funny. But so if you just want to use a simple quip, coaching quips, I love those. Just say bus ticket. And your guy, won't you explain that to him? He should know what that means. All right, that's what field number one's got. Number two, front side number two to the field. He's got the flat route, very key route. His depth is 2 to 3 yards downfield. We tell our guys think width, not depth, and haul tail. Think width, not depth, and haul tail. Don't push vertical off your first step. Your first step should be at a 45 degrees. Second step builds the depth. All right, again, very key. First step is 45 degrees. Second step builds the depth. That's very key on a flat route. Give the quarterback your breastplate. We want to tell the quarterback to skim the breastplate. So give your quarterback the breastplate. We want a horizontal stretch to flat defender immediately in this concept. Again, we want a horizontal stretch to flat defender immediately. If you just want to use a simple coaching quip, stretch it. We use that one all the time. All right. Number three, he's the one who's got the stick, and this is probably the most important route with the most details of all of them in this concept. All right. His depth's going to be 6 yards. He's going to push vertical off his alignment to 6 yards. If the defender, which two-eye structure is going to be Mike, but if the defender is attached, run out of your break, create separation. If the defender is not attached, turn outward and expect the ball. So you're going to kind of turn outward and sit in the zone or sit in the hole in the zone. Okay, very, very key coaching point. If the defender is attached, you want a slight negative angle, not 2 yards or nothing like that. About a half a yard is it. But you want a slight negative angle out of the break to keep Mike from undercutting the throw. This is huge and probably the biggest coaching point of the whole route. Or you're going to be like, man, Coach Jones gave me a bad route. This is no good. Because if he does not slight negative angle, Mike can undercut that throw. And you know what's going to happen there. It's probably going to be a pick if Mike's got any kind of hands. So big coaching point. Slight negative angle out of your break to keep him from undercutting that throw. We talk about tight turn, same shoulder. Okay, so if the quarterback hits me on my outside shoulder, I need to tight turn it that way and get vertical after the catch. I do not need to make a wide turn on this or anything like that. We want to get north and south. Okay, if he does it on my inside shoulder, tight turn that way and work upfield. Chances are he's going to try to hit the soft shoulder away from the closest defender. All right, and this is another key coaching point. We've got to get our hands and eyes around out of our break because we must see the ball leave the quarterback's hands on this route. The ball cannot shock us. If the ball shocks us, it's probably going to hit our shoulder pad or our helmet, bounce up, and bounce off to the safety. You know what's going to happen there. It's going to be a pick. And again, you're going to think, man, that was a bad play. I got at that clinic that time. But just get these coaching points right. I assure you it's a great play, and you guys will be in good shape. Okay? Backside number one. That's where we got the slant arrow on the backside. Great one high answer. Automatically built in. Stick can be fine versus one high as well. Slant arrow is probably a little better case versus it. But if you want to make it just really easy for your quarterback, like I talked about, versus the 2 high, 1 high side, you can do that. But slant arrow is a great answer versus 1 high. So number one receiver, he's got the slant. There's 3 different ways to run a slant. And you got to teach these. You can't just tell your guy, hey, run a slant, because there's 3 different looks he can get. It can be off, okay, free access. It can be cloud, or it can be press. Okay, he's got a different release versus each one. But again, so the free access is where he's off, probably going to be off and inside 6-7 yards or better. He's going to run the 3-step slant. We're a step seam at Powell as well, which I think that's huge for high school. Pretty much all the colleges are nowadays. There's just no transition for your receivers to go play college ball if you're a step team in high school. I think at times the drop's a lot better as well. That's just my personal opinion. But I know some people's afraid to death to let high school kids, count steps and stuff. But if you just work it during your stuff, it don't take long at all. It works for us, and I'm not saying it can work for everybody, but it does work. There's a few stops I've been at, it does work. But again, 3-step slant versus free access is 3 steps, push hard 3 steps, and it's the 45-degree angle break that everybody in America runs. Everybody knows what that is. All right, versus cloud. Do not get undercut by the corner. And then we like the squirt release versus press. Okay, so versus cloud, he's going to impede. Cloud is any version of cover 2. He's going to impede your break point most likely on a slant if he's a cloud corner. So we want to attack his outside, try to get him to widen. Then we want to throw it when we get to our landmark of 5 yards. We want to throw him in the Gatorade with our inside hand and then break it flat, a little flatter angle. Okay, that's versus a cloud corner. All right, versus press, squirt release. That's just an outside release, old school. Now some people call it spray release now. When I learned it many years ago, it was squirt release. It was just kind of stuck with me. All right, but you want to release outward, kind of at an angle outward. All right, and again, you want to throw that guy in the Gatorade with your inside hand and break. On a versus a running a slant versus a press corner, you won't want to get to 5 yards, but you're probably going to have to get to about 3 to 4 is probably all you're going to be able to get. Versus cloud, you're going to be able to get. Should be able to get to 5, but you should be able to get to your 5 yards. So we tell our guys versus free access, it's steps, it's 3. All right, versus versus cloud corner and press, it is going to be yardage. Okay, we're going to try to get to a depth of 5 yards. All right, that's what we tell our receivers. All right, the arrow route's really easy. All right, we want to stretch it. We want to get there, and it's a free release. He don't have the back. If he's the back, he don't have any blitz responsibility. It's a scat protection. He just wants to set his path 1 to 2 yards downfield. Okay, but we want to stretch it. We want to pull that will linebacker or that flat defender in the boundary so we can throw the slant in behind it. But if that flat defender backs up, we've got to throw the flat route or the arrow route. Excuse me. All right, this is just an 11P version. Same deal. Can apply a little bit. That tight end can run stick, the back can run the arrow or the flat. Okay. All right. Here's if you're a 12P team, this is a way you can run it here. All right. And that should be the last example. And I'm going to show you a little bit of film. Yeah, we'll go back to that here in a minute. We'll go back to the RPO here in just a minute when I show you a little bit of film. All right, so I have to go back out and then get into my film. So give me just a second while I do that. All right. All right. No, at first, so here's what we've got here. Now, this isn't our film. This is some film I've gotten. I think it's from Boston College. It was just better film, so I wanted to show it. All right. Here's our flat defender right here where my mouse is. You can see right here, that's our flat defender. That's who we're reading off of. We got him out leveraged pretty good right now. So if we get him out leveraged, then we're gonna throw that flat route. Because again, we for us, this is going to be an athlete, and this is going to be an athlete right here. We'll get that guy out leveraged. We want to get that ball, that guy on the perimeter now, and let him roll. Okay, he's got number one. We talked about what's number one got. He's got the must outside release vertical. He's going to run that corner out of there. All right, he's got the flat route. Number 3, he's an attached tight end. No worries. All right, even though the clip I showed you that we were going to run in virtually, he's detached. The same routes apply, same rules apply. Okay, that's his Mike backer right here that he'll be running that off of. Okay, if Mike is attached, he'll run out of his break. If Mike is not attached, he'll turn and lull into the fat of the zone. All right. So the first drop, watch the flat defender, because then you're going to get a behind the scene. We're going to get a end zone version here in a second, and you'll see the 2-step mechanic I was talking about for the quarterback. So what I would tell you to watch at first is the flat defender, because that's who we're going to make our read off of, and then we'll watch the quarterback. Okay. We got him out leveraged. Throw the ball now. He gets the ball out there quick, and we're off. You're off and running. Okay. No, it should be everything in there. Okay, here we go. Now watch the quarterback. It's a left-right ball. So he's going to take this. He's going to take a step back. All right, it's left, right ball. He's going to be open hip, open shoulder. And here's why I like the 2-step mechanic on these slants and stick concepts. Okay, because when he's throwing to his non-dominant side, he's already open hip, open shoulder. Okay, which is huge. He's not going to be, where the old school 3-step drop, he's not going to be closed hip, closed shoulder, trying to fight across his body. He's already open hip, open shoulder, and he can make it real easy throw. It looks real smooth, which you'll see here in just a second. And even when he throws to the field, which is his dominant side, when he throws to his dominant side, the right side, it's still left-right ball. Okay, it's all it is, left-right ball. All right, and it's really simple. It times up with the concept really good. It's good for slants, good for stick, a lot of quick game type stuff. It's really good and it times up good. But why I like it is because it's got the quarterback already open hip, open shoulder. He don't have to fight across his body, with a closed shoulder. All right. Here we go. Left, right ball. He gets it out. I think we'll see a couple clips here. Left, right ball. Sees open hip, open shoulder. Nice, easy throw. Going to his non-dominant side. Left, right ball. All right. And you guys get the gist. I'm gonna get out of this and go back into the presentation. Okay, that is stick. That is the stick version of how we run it. And I've got an RPO, a pre-snap RPO I'm going to talk about. It's got some easy throws in it, high percentage throws to go along with our title name for today. That is stick, and that's how we run it. Again, not saying we run it the best way, not saying how we run it's the only way, but it's our way, and it works really well for us. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys out on that, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. All right. Now let's talk about a pre-snap RPO. I know I've talked to high school coaches all across the country. We're a big RPO team at Powell. We're a pre and post. This here is only a pre-snap only RPO. I know some coaches are afraid to let their quarterbacks make decisions like that. And we like ours we let ours make the decisions because we spend a lot of time with him. If we didn't spend a lot of time with him, there's no way I could allow him the freedom that he has. But we spend a lot of time with our guys and make sure that they know what they think like we think because of that. So therefore, he gets a lot of freedom to play the position. Okay, but this particular RPO here, you can run out of 11P or 20P. We've got three things going on the play, and it's up to the quarterback to make the best decision. And I'll explain what I mean by three things going on. Okay, let me show you the diagram. Again, I got to go back out. I'll show you the diagram for the. All right, here's the pre-snap RPO diagram. You can name anything you want to. Okay, to the single and the boundary, he's going to run a 4-step speed out. All right, it will convert versus press. So if he gets press, that's going to convert to a fade. If it's if it's cloud or off corner, he's just going to run a 4-step speed out. Okay, he will convert it versus press. To the field, the two-man side, the two-man service, we're going to run double slants. All right, which is a really good 2-high answer. If you notice, I got 2-high written right here, 1-high written right here. It's really 1-high side is going to be the speed out. 2-high side will be the double slant. We'll go inside out on that. We'll read it inside out. Then our box action is just going to be inside zone, cutting off the backside. That's all we're doing right here. So if we've got a 6-man box, we've got 6 blockers. We're even. I call that a fair fight. We're good to go. Okay, they got 7. The defense is always one outnumbering the box. We know that as offensive guys. They got 7 in there. That means we should be able to throw either inside out on our slant or we should be able to go to our single on the speed out. Okay, it is literally up to the quarterback to determine where we're going. We'll break the field into 3 parts, which I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. That's part of the PowerPoint here in just a second. Here's what I mean by that in just a second. Okay, let me get back to the PowerPoint. All right, so you got to understand what it looks like. All right, so for the quarterback, his deal on this, we're going to break the field into 3 areas. We're going to break it into the boundary. We're going to break it into the box, which is the run box with the line R and everything. And then we're going to break it into the field. Okay, so we got 3 areas. And you may think your guy, there's no way he can determine, what all 11 guys are doing, yada, yada, yada. But break that sucker into 3 areas. And I can about guarantee if he's good enough to be your starting quarterback, no matter what level you're at in high school, he's going to be good enough to be your starting quarterback. He can probably determine what field's the best one. Is the boundary the best one? Is the box the best one? Is the field the best one? What's the best look? And that's the biggest thing on RPOs is he can't go look at the defense, all 11 guys, and determine what to do. We use a term for us, we call, pre-snap term for us and any of our past stuff is called SOC, safeties, overhangs, corners. We're going to look at the safeties, we're going to look at the overhangs, and we're going to look at the corners. We're going to gather information off each one. And I'll explain that in a little bit better detail when I show you a picture here in just a second of what the defense looks like. Okay. Well, again, we're going to break the field into 3 areas. We're going to play on the best field. All right. Double slant. That's the field. We're going to read it inside out. Okay. So we'll go inside out on the slant if that's where we're going. Then we've got same 2-step mechanics. All right. Our rules for the double slants is simple. If it's 2 high, we can work double slants all night. If it's 1 high, we never, ever, ever want to throw double slant into cover 3. All right, now if it's 1 high man, they got man eyes or zone eyes, the defenders. Okay, if it's 1 high man, we're okay. Got to take best matchup there. Okay, we're okay to throw it. But if it's 1 high zone, the double slant side is off. The windows are way too tight in cover 3 to be throwing double slant. Okay, our quarterbacks know that during our install. We teach them that, and we show them what all the different looks look like so they don't get confused. All right, 1 high to speed out. So for example, for the quarterback, if it's 1 high, you're going to think speed out or run. Okay, if it's 1 high zone. You're going to think I'm either going to go to my speed out or I'm going to think run. It's going to be one of those 2 things. If it's too high, you're probably going to be thinking double slant or run. That's going to be your options in this RPO. Okay, and we tell our quarterback in the RPO world, any of our RPOs, whether it's pre or post, If there's any uncertainty, any gray areas, we're going to hand it off. Okay, we'll run into an outnumbered box and let this see another day, just because if he couldn't make a decision off of a guy. Okay, we will live, but I do not want to live with taking a chance at throwing double slants and he wasn't sure what he was looking at. All right, any uncertainty, and he knows that. Any uncertainty, we're handing that sucker off. All right. Okay, wide receiver, field number 1, outside slants rules. I just covered that a minute ago, talking about free access, cloud, and press. You got the different rules there. All right, I already talked about that. Number 2. All right, what's number 2 got? He's got a little bit of coaching points on his slant. All right, his job is to collect the hip or near defender. Okay, we want to attack his inside shoulder. So you got the flat defender to the field in this case. We want to attack his inside shoulder. Because what we really want to do is we want to pull that guy so we can throw, because it's a bigger window, we can throw the outside slant. That's what we want to do. But if he's going to let us beat him, he's going to get wide, and he's going to let us beat him across the face, then we got to throw it in. We're going to read it inside out. Then we're going to throw that. Okay? But so that's what his job is there. You must attack inside shoulder. Get skinny after clearing the hip or near defender. So what that means is that he don't want to stay flat on his path and run in there to the mic and get his head knocked off. Okay, so he wants to clear the flat defender. Then we want to get skinny, starting to work upfield a little bit. Okay, nickel Sam was the blitz from the field. Expect the ball now. You're getting the ball in hot fashion. Okay, if the nickel Sam backer, he's relating to the box and he's not paying any attention to you, you need to know that pre-snap, because the quarterback's thinking the same thing, and you're getting the football. Okay, so you got to expect it. All right, do not go around the near defender. So what I mean by that is do not go to the outside shoulder of the nickel Sam or the flat defender. Okay, because all you're going to do there, now you just got in both windows. You took everything away. You played for the defense on that play. All right, so you cannot go around the near defender. That's huge, huge, huge coaching point. All right. Now to the boundaries. B1 stands for backside 1. All right, he's got the 4-step speed out. Okay, it's a speed cut. Do not stop. It's not the old school chop or high school, the high school Harry, some of them say as a joke. All right, that's not what it is. It's a 4-step speed cut. Stay on the move, okay? Stay on the move. Why do we like speed out in the boundary? Because you get the odd teams. They got an overhang over there. You're throwing away from the zone dropper, okay? Some people may say, well, why not hitch? We've got ones where we do run hitch as well, but you're on the speed out. You're going away from the zone dropper. So the odd teams, when you got a hitch over there, and he's going to be in the window of your hitch all night long. You know what I mean? But your speed out, you can win there. All right. And it's going to convert versus press. We talked about that. It's going to be automatic. There is no signal from the quarterback. He's just got to know that if the guy's in my face, I'm converting that to a fade. Okay. 4-step speed out really ain't doing me a whole lot of good versus press. All right. Here's a picture. All right. Don't have the video of this play. I've just got a still shot, but I can coach plenty enough off of this. So the quarterback's going to come out here and he's going to look. Okay. He's going to check his single. All right, we're a little tight. We're a little wide over there. Should have been a little tighter in our split. Okay, they're trying to make this look like cover 2. Okay, all right, and here's how I'm gonna tell you that it's not. Okay, here's how we decipher it. That it is not. It's cover 4 all the way. And here's how we can tell on this look. Okay, where is this? We talked about looking at our safeties. How many's on the roof? All right, there's 2 on the roof. All right, what's their depth and width? All right, their depth's about 12 yards. Their width's they're pretty tight. Okay, so he's not going to be able to play the half field from way in here. He's the first guy that gives it away. Second thing we're going to look at is our overhang. All right, which is where my arrow is. All right, the flat defender to the field, the nickel Sam. All right, is he relating to the box or is he relating to the receiver? This is going to give you another idea. Okay, with this, whether the corner's going to be playing cloud or bail. Corners can lie. Safeties tell the tale. We tell our guys all the time, safeties tell the tale, corners lie. Even though we do got to peek the corners to see what our depth is, see what the cushion is. Excuse me. All right, but the overhang right here. All right, is he relating to the box or the receiver? Now he's looking in at the box, but he's clearly relating to the receiver. Okay. Now they could trick us a little bit. All right, and say they're going to make him think he's relating to the receiver, but he's really going to be coming from the field. They're in high school, they're not going to blitz him this far out. Okay. 2. If this guy's going to blitz, safety's going to be over top of him. He's not going to be that far inside. That's another way we can determine this guy's no threat to blitz from this far out, because that safety is way too far. It goes into the capped, uncapped world. That safety is way too far inside for this guy to be blitzing right here. So we know right now if he's this wide and he's not blitzing, he's the flat defender. Well, if he's the flat defender, then we know it's not cover 2, because if it's cover 2, he'd be the flat defender. Okay, so he's making it look like cover 2. Heck. Let me go back up. All right. He's making it look like he is bailing. He is getting out of there. All right. That just gives you that's just a quick little deal of how we decipher, the difference there a little bit for our quarterbacks. We teach them all this during the off season when we're teaching them defensive structure and so forth. We always like to know, is that nickel Sam relating to the box or relating to the receiver? Now, if he was in here, all right, he's probably relating to the box. Okay, so that's the difference, and those little things are huge for your quarterback when he's got all that on his plate and he's trying to determine, how many blitz threats they got, all that good stuff. Okay, so just makes those kind of things are huge for your QB. All right, now what's our box count look like? All right, we got 6. Well, we got 6 blockers, so we got a few different things we like here. I like the double slants. All right, I think should have a good enough window here on the outside, especially if we're going to be knowing this guy's bailing. I don't like my single too much down here. All right, he's a little too wide in the split. Should be a little tighter. All right, but I like my double slants, or I like my run box. Okay, in that case, I would probably go with the run. Okay, but anyways, I like both of them. And there's going to be times when you like all 3. And it's up to your quarterback to take the best fit. Take the best matchup. Okay, there's going to be time, but they can't take everything away. One of those 3 is going to look good. Sometimes 2 is going to look good, and sometimes all 3 is going to look good, depending on who you're playing. Okay, so just know that. So, but I would, in my case right here, I would take either the double slant side or I would take the run. Both of those look pretty good. Okay, all right, let's go look at a different picture, a different opponent. All right, same deal. We got press, so he's converting to a fade. All right, safety's off the hash just a little bit. We first thing we're going to look at, like we said, is our safeties. How many are there? There's 2. What's their depth and width? He's off the hash just a little bit. Could he get there on the fade ball? Possibly. So I'm probably going to roll that out because I got to really like that to throw that. I can't just be like, I think I like it. No, we got to really, really love it. Okay, when we love it, we'll throw it. If not, we're moving on from it. Okay, so the safety's off the hash a little bit. What's our slants look like? We got a really, really, really soft corner to the field. The nickel Sam, once it's related to the receiver of the box, is 100% related to the receiver. All right. And what kind of box do we got? What kind of run box do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 to block. So once again, all right, our 2-man slants look good. All right. And our box count looks good. Okay. I maybe would go to the slants only because we got such a soft corner. That's a layup. I call them layups. That's a layup. Okay. This guy here could be the 7th guy in the box pretty quick, which we do not have a count for him because there's only 6 blockers. They already got the 6 up here. He could get down in here pretty quick. So me personally on this play, if I was coaching it from a clinic tape, which I am right now, I would go inside out on my slants. So I would catch the ball, do my left right, and get the ball. I'd go inside out on my slant is what I'd be doing. Okay, but you do got the box numbers. But again, this is kind of the wild card kind of deal here. He's around. It's probably about 8 yards or so, 8, 9 yards, I guess. But he can get down in that box pretty quick. He's pretty nosy. Okay, so. And that's pretty much it. That's a pre-snap RPO for us. We do both pre and post. There's a variety of things we do. If you ever want to talk those, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Be glad to tell you what we do. But the RPOs, man, are great. It kind of gives you the marker last. You do got to spend some more time with your quarterback. That's all right. That's what we're here for. We want to make those guys the best they can be. But again. It gives him the marker last. He's got to know what he's looking at. He's not looking at all 11 guys at once. You got to break that sucker down. That'd be overwhelming for a 4-year starter as a senior. Okay, we break ours down by safeties, overhangs, corners. And then we also break in that's in our pass structure. In our RPO world, and we break it down boundary. We go boundary, like is here. We go box, which is here, to field. Break that sucker into 3 areas. He'll find what's the best field, I assure you. If he's smart enough to be your quarterback, he'll be able to tell what field do I want to play on, coach. You do this in film. We do this in film all the time. I'll tell my guys, I would ask them, hey, what field would you play on here? Here's the call. What field would you play on? And we do that all the time, and they get it right a very, 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 very high percentage of the time. But that's pretty much all I've got for today on our high percentage pass concepts. We do a lot of other stuff as well. So if there's anything else I can ever help you with, reach out to me anytime. If you got any questions on the RPO or the stick, feel free to reach out to me. Be glad to answer those. Hopefully there's something you took away from this today. Not saying our way is the only way or the best way, but I'm just saying it's the way that we do it. Everything I've learned from somebody. I clinic all the time, and try to take stuff back to our team that's going to help us out and then fit it into what we're trying to do. But we didn't invent anything. We're copycats, just like a lot of us are in the football world. It trickles down from the top, a lot of it. I think that's pretty much where stick came from. Obviously the NFL is the first ones that I know of that was running it, decades and decades ago, and it's just made its way all the way down to high school football and everywhere in between. But that's pretty much it, Coach. Like I said, you've got my contact information. So let me go back in. Let me go back to the top, and for you guys that might have got in here late, you can look at my contact information again. If you need to reach out to me, I got to go all the way through this. Sorry, give me just a second, and I can email you the PowerPoint if you want it. All right, I'll be glad to answer any questions you have about it. But my cell phone's on there. Text me, call me. That's my Twitter handle at the bottom. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back, and you can DM me, and we can talk ball anytime. But that's pretty much it for now. And let me know if you've got anything else that you want to talk about.